The greatest gap in life is the gap between knowing and doing. Think about that. Most people already know what they should do. They know they should wake up earlier, work harder, stay focused, be disciplined, but they don't do it. That's the problem. Not lack of knowledge, lack of action. Let me ask you something. How many dreams have been delayed because of procrastination? How many opportunities lost? Because someone said, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. One of the most dangerous words in the world, because tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And one day, you wake up wondering where your life went. Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. Procrastination doesn't steal your time all at once. It steals it slowly, quietly, one delay at a time. And here's what makes it dangerous. It feels harmless. You tell yourself, I'll start later. I just need motivation. I work better under pressure. But deep down, you know the truth. You're avoiding the work, not because you can't do it, but because discipline is uncomfortable. And most people choose comfort over progress. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they feel ready. But successful people understand something different. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. Discipline. Doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Because feelings change. But results come from action. So, we're going to talk honestly about procrastination, about excuses, about wasted potential, and more importantly, we're going to talk about how to break free from it, how to stop delaying your future, how to take control of your time, how to finally get the work done. Because the truth is simple. Your dreams are waiting on your decision to act one day or day one. You decide. Let's begin with something honest, something simple, but dangerous. Procrastination, not laziness, not lack of talent, not lack of opportunity, just the habit of delaying what needs to be done. And at first, it doesn't seem serious. You say, I'll start tomorrow. I still have time. I'll do it later. Small delays, small excuses, small moments of avoidance. But over time, those small delays become a lifestyle. And that lifestyle quietly destroys potential. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Think about that. Every day you procrastinate, you are spending something you can never get back. Time. Now let me ask you something. How many ideas have you delayed? How many goals have you postponed? How many opportunities have passed by because you kept waiting to feel motivated, waiting to feel confident, waiting for the perfect moment? But here's the truth. The perfect moment rarely comes. And successful people understand that. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They act in imperfect conditions. Because action creates momentum. Waiting creates doubt. If you wait for all the lights to turn green, you'll never leave the driveway. Now let's go deeper. Why do people procrastinate? Because procrastination feels comfortable. Doing nothing is easy. Avoiding responsibility is easy. Staying in your comfort zone is easy. But easy has a price. A high price. Because every time you delay, you weaken your discipline. Every time you avoid the work, you train your mind to escape discomfort. And eventually, your habits begin to control you. That's why procrastination is dangerous. Not because of one missed day, but because of repeated delay. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And failure, often the same thing, just practiced in the wrong direction. A little neglect, a little delay, a little wasted time, repeated daily, until years pass and nothing changes. Now listen carefully. Procrastination does not always look like laziness. Sometimes it looks like preparing. You keep planning, keep researching, keep thinking, but never starting. And that's another trap, because thinking about the work is not the same as doing the work. You can read every book, watch every video, listen to every speech, but if you don't act, nothing changes. Ideas are powerful, but execution changes lives. Execution, that's the key. Now let me tell you something important. The longer you delay something, the heavier it becomes in your mind. A small task turns into stress. A simple action turns into pressure. And eventually, you avoid it even more. That's how procrastination grows. Not because the work is impossible, but because delay creates fear, and fear creates more delay. So how do you break the cycle? You start not perfectly, not confidently, just honestly. One small action, one small step, because action destroys procrastination. Motivation comes after starting, not before. Most people wait to feel motivated, but motivation often follows movement. Once you begin, your energy changes. Your focus improves. Your confidence grows. But none of that happens until you act. Now understand this deeply. Every successful person has learned to act despite resistance. They don't always feel like working. They don't always feel inspired, but they move anyway. That is discipline. And discipline will take you further than motivation ever will. Your dreams are not dying because you lack ability. They are dying from delay, from hesitation, from waiting too long to begin. So stop postponing your future. Stop negotiating with excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Because the truth is simple. The life you want is waiting on the work you keep delaying. So begin today, not tomorrow. Today. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Let's make this practical, because motivation alone will not change your life. You can listen to speeches all day, read books all night, write goals in a notebook. But if you don't take action, nothing changes. So the question becomes, how do you stop procrastinating? How do you finally get the work done? Let's begin with the first lesson. 1. Stop waiting to feel motivated. This is where most people get trapped. They say, I'll start when I feel ready. I just need motivation. I need the right mood. But successful people understand something different. Action comes first. Motivation comes later. Don't wait for inspiration. It comes while working. You must train yourself to act regardless of feelings, because feelings change every day. Some mornings you'll feel strong. Some mornings you won't. But discipline says, do it anyway. That is power. 2. Make the task smaller. Sometimes procrastination comes from overwhelm. The goal feels too big, too complicated, too heavy, so your mind avoids it. Here's the solution. Break it down. Don't think about finishing everything. Just think about starting. Write 1 page. Read 1 chapter. Work for 10 minutes. Small action creates momentum, and momentum creates progress. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Simple, small, consistent. That's how great things are built. 3. Remove distractions before they remove your future. Let's be honest. Most people are not tired. They are distracted. Phones, social media, endless scrolling, constant noise. And every distraction steals something valuable. Focus. Wherever you are, be there. When you work, work. When you study, study. When you focus, focus completely. Put the phone away. Turn off notifications. Create silence. Because a distracted mind cannot produce great work. Protect your attention. Your future depends on it. 4. Create a daily routine. Successful people do not rely on randomness. They rely on structure. They have routines. Times to work. Times to learn. Times to improve. Because routine reduces excuses. If you only work when you feel like it, you will rarely work. But if it becomes a habit, your mind stops negotiating. You simply begin. Motivation gets you started. Habit keeps you going. That's why routine matters. Wake up at a set time. Plan your priorities. Finish important tasks early. Not perfectly. Consistently. 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. Perfectionism is another form of procrastination. People delay action because they fear mistakes. They want everything perfect before they begin. But perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Better done than perfect. The first attempt may be messy. That's okay. Every master was once a beginner. Every expert once struggled. You improve by doing, not by overthinking. So stop trying to make it perfect. Start trying to make it real. 6. Keep promises to yourself. This is important. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," and don't follow through, you weaken self-trust. And eventually, you stop believing yourself. But every time you complete a task, even a small one, you build confidence. You prove to yourself, "I can rely on me." And that changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as lazy and start seeing yourself as disciplined. Your philosophy determines whether you will go for the disciplines or continue the errors. So choose discipline daily. Procrastination is not just delaying work. It is delaying your future. Every day you hesitate. Your dreams wait. Your goals wait. Your potential waits. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Because the truth is simple. The best way to stop procrastinating is to begin. One step, one action, one decision at a time. And once you move, your life begins to move with you. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Let's talk about cost. Not the cost, you see. The cost you don't notice until years later, because procrastination has a price, a silent price. And most people don't realize it until the opportunity is gone. You see, procrastination doesn't look dangerous in the beginning. It looks harmless. I'll start tomorrow. I still have time. I'll do it later. Small delays, small excuses, but repeated daily, they become destruction. Failure is not a single event. It is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. That's how dreams disappear. Not all at once. Slowly, quietly, one delayed action at a time. Now, let me ask you something. How many times have you delayed something important? A goal, a dream, an opportunity. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you kept postponing it, and the dangerous part, you convince yourself you'll do it eventually. But eventually turns into never. That's the hidden trap. Procrastination creates the illusion of time. It makes you believe you always have more of it. But life moves fast. Days become weeks. Weeks become years. And one day, you look back wondering why nothing changed. Not because you lacked talent, not because you lacked intelligence, but because you delayed action. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value is what you become. And what do you become when you constantly procrastinate? You become uncertain, undisciplined, frustrated, because every time you avoid action, you weaken trust in yourself. You tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow comes and nothing happens. Eventually, you stop believing your own words and that damages confidence. Now let's go deeper. Procrastination doesn't only steal time, it steals energy. Unfinished tasks stay in your mind. They create stress, pressure, mental exhaustion. You think about them constantly, but never complete them. And that drains you. A delayed decision, a delayed goal, a delayed opportunity. All of it becomes emotional weight. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Let that sink in. The work you avoid today often becomes the regret you carry tomorrow. Now think about dreams. Big dreams. A better life. A business. A healthier body. Financial freedom. None of those happen by accident. They require action. Consistent action. But procrastination interrupts progress. You stop starting, stop building, stop moving forward, and slowly, your dreams begin to fade. Not because they were impossible, but because they were postponed too many times. That is the hidden cost. Lost potential. And perhaps the saddest part of all is knowing you could have done more. You had ideas. You had ability. You had opportunities. But delay kept stealing your future. Now here's the good news. It does not have to stay this way. You can change today. Not next week. Not next year. Today. Because every successful person eventually learns this lesson. Action creates opportunity. Delay destroys it. The time to act is when the idea is hot and the emotion is strong. So when you feel inspired, move. When you know what must be done, begin. Don't wait for perfect conditions. They rarely come because life rewards action, not intention. Years from now, you will either thank yourself or regret delaying. The choice is happening right now. In your habits, in your decisions, in your actions. So stop postponing your future. Stop negotiating with excuses. Stop delaying the life you truly want. Because every dream requires one thing first. Action. Success is not something you pursue. What you pursue will always escape you. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Let's talk about identity. Because procrastination is not only a habit, it is often a reflection of who you believe you are. If you constantly say, I'm lazy, I never finish things, I always procrastinate, your actions begin to match those words. Because the mind always tries to stay consistent with identity. So if you want to stop procrastinating, you must stop seeing yourself as someone who delays and start becoming someone who acts. For things to change, you have to change. That is where transformation begins. Not in your schedule, not in your goals, but in your mindset. Now, let me ask you something. What kind of person gets work done? A person who waits for motivation? No. A person who complains? No. A person who makes excuses? No. The person who gets results is the person who acts despite resistance. They do what needs to be done, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when they don't feel like it. That is the difference. Most people think successful people feel motivated all the time. That's not true. Successful people simply become skilled at taking action. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And discipline is built through repetition. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your identity. You say, I will wake up early, and you do it. You say, I will finish the work, and you complete it. Little by little, you begin to trust yourself. And self-trust is powerful. Because once you trust yourself, action becomes easier. Now here's something important. Stop focusing only on big goals. Focus on becoming the kind of person who follows through. Because success is not built in giant moments. It is built in daily decisions. Getting up when you said you would. Starting when you don't feel ready. Finishing what you began. Simple actions. Repeated consistently. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Now understand this deeply. Every action you take is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. When you procrastinate, you reinforce weakness. When you act, you reinforce discipline. And eventually, discipline becomes natural. You no longer argue with yourself. You no longer wait for perfect feelings. You simply begin. That is maturity. That is growth. That is power. Now let's make this practical. If you want to become someone who gets work done, start with these habits. 1. Finish small tasks quickly. Don't let simple things pile up. Reply to the message. Clean the desk. Make the call. Because unfinished tasks create mental clutter, and mental clutter creates procrastination. 2. Set clear priorities. Most people waste energy because they don't know what matters most. Choose the important task first. Do it early. Before distractions appear, learn to separate the majors from the minors. 3. Keep promises to yourself. This changes everything. If you say you will do something, do it, even if it's small, especially if it's small, because self-respect grows when your actions match your words. 4. Stop overthinking. Thinking has value, but endless thinking becomes avoidance. Sometimes you don't need more planning. You need movement. Start before you feel fully ready. Clarity often comes through action. Now, let me tell you something powerful. The people who achieve great things are not always the smartest, not always the most talented, but they are often the most consistent. They learn how to move, even when resistance appeared, and that is why they win, because life rewards action, not intention. Your future is not built by what you plan to do someday. It is built by what you choose to do today. So become the kind of person who acts, who follows through, who gets the work done. Because once you master action, you begin to master your life. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Think about that carefully. Every morning, you are given a new day, a new opportunity, a new chance to move your life forward. But most people waste it, not because they are bad people, but because they procrastinate. They delay important things. They waste hours on distractions. They tell themselves, I'll do it later. And little by little, their future disappears into delay. Either you run the day or the day runs you. That is why learning to control your time is learning to control your life. Because your future is not built in one big moment. It is built daily, in your habits, in your routines, in what you choose to do every single day. Now, let me ask you something. What are you doing with your time? Are you building your future or escaping from responsibility? Because time does not stop. It keeps moving. And every hour you procrastinate is an hour you cannot recover. That's why successful people protect their time carefully. They understand something most people ignore. Small daily actions create big results. Reading 10 pages a day, working 1 extra hour, practicing discipline consistently, simple actions, repeated daily. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Now listen carefully. You do not need to change your whole life overnight. You simply need to stop wasting today. Stop delaying the important work. Stop giving your best energy to distractions. Stop procrastinating on the goals that matter. Because procrastination feels harmless, but it slowly steals your future. One wasted day may not seem serious, but repeated daily, it becomes years of regret. That is why discipline matters. Discipline helps you act, even when you don't feel like it. And the people who win in life are usually the people who learned how to manage themselves, not manage time. Manage themselves. because everyone gets 24 hours? The difference is, what do you do with yours? Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. So start treating your time with respect. Wake up with purpose. Plan your day. Do the important things first. Not perfectly, consistently. And when you feel the urge to procrastinate, remember this. Your future is watching your daily habits. Every action matters. Every hour matters. Every decision matters. Because the life you want is being built right now, not tomorrow, not someday, today. If you take control of your days, you take control of your future. So stop procrastinating. Stop delaying your potential. Stop wasting the time that could change your life. Because in the end, your future is not built yearly, not monthly. It is built daily,